Hello, everyone. Sorry, we're late and gay, as y'all like to say.
We're not even that late. It's 2 minutes, you impatient people.
We just wanted to make sure Joe could be heard and could be seen. Yeah. Something that is like a common line in this show. I want to be heard and seen.
Be seen, and I want to be heard. And
I was like, okay. I mean, I get it. So anyways, welcome to for a second I thought that was the Jack Daniels.
No. That would have been amazing.
Drinking out of the bottle, slamming it. Like, I'm on poor choices. Better make some poor choices right now.
No, it's just iced tea.
Okay. Welcome to Poor Choices. We're gonna do a recap of The Bachelorette. Gabby and Rachel season is over, and
finally, God.
Felt like a really long season. Yeah.
It felt like a really long season. And I don't know if you think with the two of them and the fact that they were cutting dates short, like they chopped this. I mean, mad props to the editors. They chopped it all to heck, because I remember at one point thinking like, oh my gosh, these one-on-one dates, like the dinner time, it used to feel so much longer. Like I literally will skip through the dinner portion most of the time because I can't with it. It's like 30 minutes later and they're talking about the same thing. You're like, I get it. Your dad was a crackhead. I get it. Yeah. And they cut these short and it still felt like
I don't know if you ladies felt the same way, but I felt like one of the final contestants, Avon, I didn't even like have any feelings about him because I was like, I don't know him. Yeah.
No, she was so adamant about him. And I'm like, who is this guy?
I was like, well, he's very handsome, but that's all I know.
That's it. Nothing else. I don't know. Actually, I feel like I know more about his parents than him.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
somehow I missed. So one of you is gonna have to fill me in. Somehow I missed whatever drama happened that led her to break up with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to go back. I'm like, okay, clearly I missed something. Whatever. We'll just see what happens.
Let me see if I can find it. There's just so much. Oh wait, Avon is the one. Okay, so we'll get into more other controversies, but when he went to meet her family, Rachel's family, he miscommunicated. I'm gonna say miscommunicate because I don't think he meant this. Oh, no. But he's the one that said that that he's not 100% ready to be engaged. Now, this is paraphrasing. This is absolutely paraphrasing. I don't know what the words were specifically, but I think what he meant to say is that he wants them both to be 100% about each other, because she's not 100% about him right now. She's not ready to get engaged to him.
Yeah.
But I think that he can't blame her, because once he starts blaming her, sorry, B-Bean.
B-Bean, it's literally in the title of the stream.
Yeah.
What does it say? Let's read it.
Next week we'll get back to Sip and Shell, but right, the title today,
Bachelorette recap is literally.
You can't mess that up.
I adore you, BB.
But well, there's going to be more. Anyway, so cat.
Yeah, cat. Can I just say though, I feel like there was an obsession with being engaged, and especially with the fact that I couldn't tell you anything about these contestants, and I've never seen, and maybe it wasn't just an us thing as an audience, the fact that nobody across the board was ready except for one person to get engaged, and he's a psychopath. You know, Tino was the most off his freaking rocker the whole season. Like there were still multiple contestants and it was still like mid-season. All the guys hated him. They called him baby back bitch, which is the funniest.
Oh, that's right, they did. God, I forgot all about that by the end of it. Mm-hmm. I was so devastated when she let Tyler go. I was like,
yeah.
But the problem it was that he like lived on a Jersey Shore, and he was like, here's my little shop, and
this is my life. Yeah, I'm gonna be here forever because this is where I work. And she's like, oh
yeah, I don't know. What was funny to me is she so B-Bean's excited. Okay, I thought you were gonna be like, are you excited?
Oh
Yeah,
Or-
we're trying a new. I'm sorry, I'm derailing. We're trying a new thing where we'll do like the first episode, and then we're gonna recap everything. Just because that whole weekly thing was getting to be a much, I think, for everybody. My favorite part about Rachel was the whole season she's complaining, and look, I'm not there and I've never experienced this, so maybe I don't know, but she, you know, all the guys were rejecting her and she was feeling, I just want somebody that wants me. And I'm like, Tyler, who is literally like crawled on his hands and knees the moment and like kissed your feet the moment he saw you, like hello, Zach, those two guys have been worshiping the ground you walk on. But
yeah.
guys don't want me. Like, thank you. Bye. You don't want me? Cool.
I'm
Solid.
telling you that I think that she got the ick at some point and was like, I was just gonna jump on the first excuse possible to kick you out.
Yeah. And she started meeting his family and friends, and all of a sudden she was like, oh, I don't like you anymore. I'm like, okay, Jan, whatever.
I don't know.
She
Just-
gives me like hoity-toity vibes, you know, like she's way too needy, way too high maintenance. Like, I just don't. I'm sorry for anyone who's a Rachel fan. I'm not a Rachel fan.
I was wishy-washy with her whole season. I liked her at some points, didn't like her in others. I feel like she is still, and look, I'm not judging because we've all been there, but I feel like she still doesn't know
No, like
whatever it is she wants.
that date that she had like went to for the fighting date for Gabby, and then she was like, "You guys didn't come up to me at all. Like I didn't." I'm like, "This is Gabby's date, not your date." Gabby's date.
I have so many. First of all, I literally was like, firstly, what? I think there's a joke between us women, like in general, like women as a whole, is like the building could be burning down around you guys, and you're screaming at your man to get up, we're all gonna die, and the football game is on and he will not process, right? Football video games, right? They get this laser focus because they're so competitive and they're doing their thing or whatever and hanging out with their boys. That is a running joke amongst women. It has been for decades. Like you literally, like you could take your top off and flash them and they're like, yeah, whatever. You cannot expect, but I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but you cannot expect to bring a group of guys to watch their friends in a testosterone fueled competitive arena beating the crap out of each other and expect to get any attention. Like you can't. You just what it's not your date, first of all. Secondly, men are fuel on competition. Like that is the whole point of their testosterone. And you're gonna sit in the corner and pout. Why didn't you walk up to them and be like, oh yeah, well, that guy's doing really terribly, don't you think? Ugh, hope Gabby kicks him to the curb. They'll be like, yeah, he's worst, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, go talk and be with the guys. Like, what? That made me so mad the whole time she's crying. I'm like, girl.
Yeah, it is a two-way street. You know, she could have given them a little attention too.
Yeah.
And also something people forget is that they were all living together in a house. And when you live together with someone, it's like when you go to camp and you make like instant best friends. So then they got divided, like the house got divided and got split up. They hadn't been seeing each other. So at that point, that was the first time that Gabby's people were seeing Rachel's people, and they were so excited to see each other. So
yeah,
I'm sorry, but I was not mad at them. Like they
were not ready to see her. You know how you had to, when you're going on a date, you're going to put yourself into that mental state. Okay, we're going to do this. I'm going to do that. They thought they were just going to have a chill boys' day.
Yeah, exactly.
She has to know. And this is exactly like that time that Gabby went over and they were playing football and she's like, oh yeah, I don't like playing this. Like, oh my God. Like this is so awkward. Yeah. None of the guys wanted to talk to me. I'm like, you can't expect them when you drop over unannounced. Like you plan a day to just relax and chill and hang out with the dudes.
Yup.
What do you expect?
I don't know. Men are very competitive and they have that tunnel vision when it comes to that stuff. Like maybe we don't get mad at that. I don't know. I just was so irritated with her. I'm like, girl.
Yeah. And I think that the girls are thinking so short term. Like when I hear like that I want to be seen and heard, a lot of the things that they mention, and this might be the fault of editing, that the things that they say about seen and heard are just the stuff at the moment. Where is the longevity of a relationship? You know, all the things that they're saying. It's just at right now. Does it mean that they're going to be the same later on? I don't know. I don't know how they're kind of gauging that, or if it's just an editing thing that maybe they didn't show the longer term, harder conversations. Like it just, I don't know when. It irritates me almost because I'm like, are you sure you're looking for the right things? I don't know.
Yeah.
But then
Seen
again,
and heard in the moment, but what about seen and heard in general? You know, what about, you know, oh, maybe you don't text back the same way you do, and your guy is like, "Ooh, maybe something might be wrong," and they pick up on that. That's being heard. That's being seen. You know what I mean? Or that your social battery runs out at a party or whatever, and you're kind of in the corner like, "Ugh," and he sees that and notices like that is the seen and heard I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like you being at a football game and ignoring me. Bye. See ya. Don't break a leg, please. Like I don't know. What do you think, Joe?
It's kind of hard for me because I've been like it's really weird to think of, but Rolo and I have been together for like 12 years now. So we're at the point where we're just like, I don't even need to like have you pay attention because, you know, it's just, you know, you're there.
You know, he sees you and pays attention to you and whatever those other ways are, you know, and every couple's different, but he'll see you, you know, maybe he keeps an eye on you in the room of crowded people or whatever. I don't know.
But I think it's just like when you're in long-term relationships, like the little things like you're not paying attention to me because you're playing with your buddies on video games. It's like he doesn't have to pay attention to you 24/7. Like you have to have separate lives. It's great if you have a great, like I actually am really happy that we have things that we do together, and that's important. But I don't think their entire lives have to revolve around each other at all waking moments. So that's why I feel like it's like really weird to be like, you know, like, and maybe it's just amplified because these people only have very short amount of times to spend with each other, and that's why we normal human beings not on reality TV shows have really hard. Yeah, like wow, that's really dramatic, and then you have to stop and think like 10 minutes is all they're gonna get in a week, possibly, or maybe 30 minutes tops. So if you only have 30 minutes with someone, it's like, well, you better be freaking paying attention to me.
Yeah, I can see that, and like they have such a short amount of time, like you have to spend. I mean, they don't, but it's almost like you have to spend 24 hours together, you know, and so you get used to that. And
well, and this is something that I've seen, especially with the last couple episodes. Clear communication is key, and I don't. There was such ambiguous communication, but I think it was. They did not see and hear everything everyone else was saying. I'm not talking about just the girls, it was the guys too. So the communication wasn't there. And I think that's why a lot of them got kicked to the curb before they even got to the rose ceremony.
Is this the first Bachelorette where like there was only one guy left? There was like no suspense at all. It was just like,
I think so, yeah.
Because the only one was Colton.
Well, he ended up being gay, so that doesn't count.
Okay, true. But the only one that's ever done this where there's only been one left at the end was Colton. So
oh, that's true. But I don't think so that's it's a first for Bachelorette, and
the season went like somewhere it just never had gone before. It's just a lot. Especially both of them. I actually thought that both of them were going to be single.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, well, we won't say the ending just yet, I guess, unless everybody already knows it.
I'm honestly shocked their friendship wasn't ruined.
You know, I really feel like it's because of Gabby, because she kind of you can tell that Gabby kind of just let Rachel, Rachel's a much more dominant person. The fact that, who's the guy who looks like
Logan?
Yes, I was gonna say that sloth character with his eyes on the sides of the
Whatever happened to him? He got the beer bug, and then he was just he was no longer a contestant.
I think because he had to quarantine for whatever how many days, and then lost out. They just never addressed it though. That was the problem. Like, can we know what happened? He just was at mental all, and you're like, okay.
He just came out of nowhere, and I usually skip the mental log, honestly, because I can't. I don't know. Well, that's never really been my thing. But I just was like, Logan, he's got the beer bug, and he has to quarantine. I was like, oh, they'll give him a week or whatever, and he'll be back next week.
Nope,
God,
not at all.
What happened to this guy? Where did he go? Is he okay?
I think his quarantine went into their schedule and they're like, sorry, you can't advance.
You know what though? That serves him right for being a twat nut. So
So I guess let's just my thoughts on this episode of the recaps is to cover all the controversies that kind of have come up through the season. We can start off with like the very beginning. So there was a contestant, I think this was like episode 2, named Chris, who was talking about fantasy suites and how he's like, I see myself being one of the top 4. And if we go to fantasy night, sweet night, that I don't want her to be with anyone else. And lo and behold, there were others that felt the same way during the week of fantasy suites.
yeah,
I think with
he
Chris,
got sent home.
Yeah, I think with Chris, it was just how ridiculous it was because it was literally, we don't even know who you are. You have like zero establishment with like, they might not know even who you are. You're just one of 32 people. You've gotten barely any screen time, zero development of your relationship. And you're already talking about endgame and, ultimatums. So that was just weird. And to me, it felt like this guy was just playing for TV time.
Yeah. And I mean, in real life, dating too, it's like playing the game until you were like, okay, when do we say we're committed or I'm dating only one person? So, kind of putting that in that context, it seems kind of possessive and creepy.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
like,
we've talked about this before because this hasn't been the first time like the guys have talked about stuff that's down the road. Like the guy, like I can't remember. I think it was Michelle's season. There was a couple of guys that were talking about potentially being the Bachelor, and like that's a possibility. I don't think there's anything wrong with looking towards that because that is a very big possibility for anybody that goes in the show. And fantasy suites obviously are a guarantee, thing that's going to happen whether you're there or not. And so I think it's okay that he was looking that far ahead in the future. What I think came off was it was literally week 1 and we didn't even know who he was. I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Where did this guy come from? Let alone Gabby and Rachel, who said like 3 words to you combined.
Pretty sure he hadn't even scored a kiss or anything yet. So I'm like, that's a stretch.
Yeah. It's crazy. I'm like, okay, maybe we just, I mean, I hear you and I get where you're coming from because you'll have to think about that in the future. And I'm glad you're thinking about the future, but maybe we just
scale it back a bit. Let's see if you actually like these people.
Yeah, maybe we wait until we have that conversation. Also, if you think that that's something that's going to be a problem, you probably shouldn't be trying to date Gabby and Rachel because it's kind of like trying to date Katie. Like they're all 3 ladies are very okay with their sexuality and are perfectly okay with sex and like that being a possibility. And so maybe these aren't the girls for you. I don't really know what show you were watching, but maybe we don't. Maybe I don't know.
Oh my goodness. So I'm happy that he got the boot though.
Yeah, and that was instantaneous too. Both of them were like, bye. And
they're in sync.
Oh my God. He came back.
I feel like some of these guys, though, I don't know if they're applying for The Bachelor versus they're getting like scouted. Because I heard that some of them got scouted from Instagram.
No, a lot of them did. So, and it's kind of weird because not a lot of them have like crazy following. I'm sure it's increased since, but it's very interesting how they're looking for guys now. It's not overflowing with applications, I guess.
Well, I think the show is getting, the bad blood with Chris Harrison and Rachel as a Bachelorette still in general is causing like, sit down, lady, like you need to chill. So I think there's a divide there. And that caused a whole crap storm of things like Zach is now the Bachelor, which I'm just jumping ahead, but Zach is now the Bachelor this time. And the comments, I went this morning and kind of retweeted stuff from Poor Choices. And the comments are, oh, we got a white boy again. Oh, Bachelor Nation's racism is showing again. I'm like, did you think that this was only going to be Black Bachelors and Bachelorettes the rest of the entire shows? Like, no, like we got to bring what? I don't know. I think there's a lot of bad blood on top of the drama, on top of the fact that it barely ever works out, on top of all this stuff. It's just like people are getting sick of it.
Maybe.
So you have to go hunt people out now.
I feel like they'd have to hunt the males. It's not the females. I'm sure they still get a lot of applications.
Oh, yeah.
Sure they do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just, and especially with modern day the way it is, there's a lot of men in general, like in real life, that don't want to date, let alone be on TV and want to date. You know, it's running. Yeah, honestly, Goose. Nope.
Oh.
I agree. Although I will say, as anti as I was, Jesse's growing on me. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Yeah. I mean, he's turned out to be more level-headed. Seems like a sweet guy. I think that if it wasn't for Gabby and Rachel being friends, I don't know if I would enjoy him as a host because they seem to support each other. Because when Katie was on and she had Tasha, is it Tasha? No, Tasha and Caitlin, they've played like the friend role. So we'll have to see when it's just a Bachelorette. I mean, he still had a dad role, but I don't know.
I think it's cool too because, you know, I mean, Chris Harrison did this from the outside for so many years, but Jesse was in it. Like he literally was a bachelor. And so he kind of brings, which I liked when he was talking to like when Zach, after the fantasy suite, when Zach and Rachel, and Zach was like upset on the couch. Like, I don't know what happened. She's done a complete 180. Jesse was that for him. Like he was kind of like, yeah, I've been here. You know, you have to be honest. You have to, you know, figure out, is it just a hiccup? Like all this stuff. He's like, I know how you feel, whatever. And so he could bring that a little bit of a clarity to it. And I think he did good with the girls. Like Gabby, he's talked to Gabby, especially Gabby, not maybe not so Rachel, but he and Gabby really clicked with each other. And she went to him and you know, he kind of checked on her a lot more than he did Rachel and was kind of like, are you okay? Because she was able to open up to him, I feel like, more. And so he was able to give her good advice. I can't remember who it was now, maybe Eric. But he like went to her room and was kind of like, are you okay? Like, can I talk? How are you feeling? You know, whatever. And she was able to open up to him, I think, in a different way. And I always liked having a male host, especially with the Bachelorettes, because women are so neurotic. It's nice to get that male, like, okay, calm down. Let's step outside and let's talk about this. And I really, really like him. So I didn't want to, but I like him.
Now the question is, do you like him more than Chris?
No, at least not yet. But I think he's a solid replacement for Chris.
What about you, Joe? How do you feel about?
I'm a Chris fan. I don't know if it's just because I'm still salty that Chris got kicked out, but like when I was watching him interacting, you know, I felt like, I don't know if it was in my own self-projection, but I was like, is he being sincere? Does he like, to me, I was like trying to see him like, is he rolling his eyes in his head kind of thing? And some of it is the writing, because like the very last like finale episode, the way he started, I was like, who starts out like that? Like, know that these people broke up. Are we finally gonna get like clarity? I'm like, why are you spoiling it at the beginning? I didn't know. I really didn't know.
I didn't know either.
I had no idea either.
I was like,
love
Rachel.
Rachel was like, as most of you know, it didn't work out. And I was like, what do you mean?
I mean, I didn't.
Not everybody watches reality, Steve, Rachel. God.
I try to avoid spoilers. So it's apparently now spoilers. There's some like the summer reading that you need to do before school starts. You know?
Like, man. All right. Well,
I was not ready for it. I mean, before that, I did think that they were broken up. And I was like, gosh, dang it, do I even want to watch this episode
it was
now?
all over her face, honestly. Like even part one of the finale, when every time they cut to her, like you could just
her face was just like upset.
Yeah, I thought, well, maybe they told her to act, you know, just don't react at all. Like maybe that was a thing. And I'm like, God, nobody's her.
They really just shouldn't have showed her at all during those like reaction shots.
And
so
then they like put her face like in a little square as you're watching the program. It's like, and then here's Rachel's reaction as it like happening live.
Yeah. The engagement, and you know, when you get engaged, you're like, oh, I'm so excited, so happy. And she's like,
and I was like, oh,
she's not happy about this. So dang. That's all I have to say. Wow, B-Bean.
Blocked and reported.
It's okay. Honestly, I think that he's gonna do, once we see him do all 3 shows, it's just it's gonna get that much better for him. So
He did really good. He did really good Bachelor, obviously, and I mean it's guy on guy, but I think he handled these ladies really well.
yeah. And then so once we see the trifecta with Paradise,
yeah,
maybe we'll be won over 100%. So
I feel like Paradise is Jesse's element. Like he's gonna be like, so as a young stud football player, I've been where you've been.
well, it'd be better than those some of the guest hosts. Although I quite like David Spade. I think he was really fun.
Yeah,
he would have been great. And poor what's his face? He'll never be the host.
Yeah, the guy who's the bartender. But it's okay. He's married to Sarah Hyland, so
they're married now. Beautiful wedding.
He's doing fine.
I wanted him for the whole Bachelor Nation Twitter. Like there was a petition. I signed it. I'm not gonna lie. We wanted Wells to be Bachelor in Paradise host so bad.
Yes, it was.
And Bachelor ABC was like,
nah.
And we're like, bro, you just had all this drama between Harrison, this bachelorette over here going to a plantation party, that bachelorette over there cheating, Katie being a psychopath. Like, can you just maybe give us this bone? No? Okay.
Maybe it's a good thing though. Tugs, I did not think you'd actually like Jesse one day, so this is new.
I do like him. He's growing on me. I like him a lot. Also, he's really easy on the eyes, so that helps.
Kudos to his wife.
Did anybody know? Did he end up with the person?
No, they broke up.
No, they ended up breaking up. Yeah, and he's married to somebody completely different. I think
it's I think it's Spanish, Brazilian, something like South American. I think.
Yeah, they've been together for a while.
Wow, B-Bean, are you a psychic?
So specific.
Okay. Should we put a time on that?
Though, like
they put the tarot cards, and that's the date the tarot cards said.
You mean so specific? I love it all. I love it so much.
Okay, we're gonna remember this. December 17th. What's this?
Well, there's that too, newbie. Yeah, that's
today's dating scene must be a nightmare for 20 to 30 somethings. Is all they know copied from movies and dating shows like this. Just be authentic, kids. Yes. And I think the thing that's going to be the hardest is between kind of this feminism that's being put out there and realism versus realism. I think that it's kind of tough because we get some women, some of the women that I know from before. Well, not any of you guys. Just they think they deserve everything without being something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that because then you get someone who's like, I need you to have a car, a nice, good job, and a home. And I'm like, okay, but do you have anything that you bring to the table besides your legs? I don't know, or like your beautiful body. I'm not okay with that, right? Like,
oh God.
I mean, I don't think it's a new concept. I mean, I grew up with what is it? Destiny's Child, Bills, Bills, Bills being one of the popular songs.
That's true.
And I was like, I don't know if I agree with this song. Even as a kid, I was like, I don't know.
I mean,
that's my own damn bills.
Well, right. There's that. And there's the traditional way of thinking. I think so many people, there's the traditional way where, the man provides and the woman kind of stays home and raises the kids and whatever, blah, blah. Like, that's what I want. But at the same time, like, I understand that if something were to happen and I needed to step up and get a job and whatever, like I could absolutely do that. I think that there's this switch that was flipped and I don't know when it happened, but exactly, I might not have been around for it, but there's a switch that has been flipped. The Destiny's Child and that you could pay my bills and blah, blah, blah. And like even Shania Twain, her song, Any Man of Mine, I was listening to it. I haven't heard it in years. And I was listening to it the other day and she's like, I could be late, for a date, but he better be on time. It's like, whoa, like, why is that okay? You know what I mean?
Equality.
Switch. Yeah, there's been like this extremist switch where it's like, either you provide everything for me and I don't have to do anything at all whatsoever, or I'm super independent and I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. Like, there's no in between anymore.
Yeah. And
whereas that traditional thing is there was an in between, like, yeah, he pays all the bills, but you reciprocate that by doing A, B, and C, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know that we've gone completely that way.
Yeah. Well, I think more the independent. I'd say women are independent. And then when they look for those relationships, that I think that there's this checklist. And if.
Oh, did we lose her? Oh, no, we lost her.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh,
no!
no. She does that sometimes. She'll come back. I watched these guys. I no longer watch them because I find them just them and Andrew Tate can go kick rocks. I think they are not. I think they have good points. And I think that they have valid points. And the women that they interview on their show are definitely a hot mess and they need to get their lives together. I completely agree with all that. However, I think they are very extremist and it's going to hurt men in the long run and relationships in the long run. I don't think it's sustainable. If you've never watched their stuff, definitely check it out.
Go just for a gander. It's interesting.
Yeah, but they're like Andrew Tate. So if you don't know anything about the drama with Andrew Tate, they're basically Andrew Tate. So there's two of them. Hi Thomas.
Okay, so our next controversy drama was that episode where Gabby got told by 3 men that they want to date Rachel back to back.
Oh God. I felt her pain. Oh, and Rachel again later with the roses.
The 3 roses
so bad.
back to back. No one wants to be rejected. I think this is the problem with this format, that they have to choose, that the men have this idea that, you know, there's options, great for them. If one doesn't work with one, they can go together, and they haven't had enough time to establish a relationship. I feel so bad for them.
Oh my God, that broke my heart. Oops, that was wrong.
When she was like, "You're rough around the edges," I'm like, that was a diss.
Oh my God, yeah. And then he was like, well, she used those words. Like, well, yeah, but the way you said it was maybe just not. I don't know.
That guy, Hayden, which one of you guys liked him? One of you two was like, he's so cute.
That was me because you know why? Because he reminds me of Grocery Store Joe, which now I feel awful for making that
comparing him.
Yeah, he's like not even. He's like I don't know if you guys ever had Food for Less on the East Coast, but Food for Less is like the trash version of Smith's, like Kroger grocery stores, and they got shut down because they were violating a bunch of health. There was rats and the meat was like, I mean, it was bad, at least here. I don't know wherever, but anyway, they got shut down as a company because it was just awful. That's Hayden. Hayden is a Food for Less. He's not even good enough to be a Walmart. Oh my God. And it makes me sad because I was like, oh, he looks like Grocery Store Joe. And we all collectively love Grocery Store Joe. And I feel Joe, I'm so sorry, Joe. Please forgive me for making that.
Yeah. No, he was like, it wasn't even the way he broke up. Sure. It could have been way better. But then all the stuff that he said to the guys and denied, that was the worst part. He denied it. And I'm like, buddy, you know what? You're on a TV show, right? There's receipts. There's proof.
Didn't he literally say something like, "These bitches can't hold a candle to my ex-girlfriend"?
He literally said
so much better looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. These bitches don't hold a candle to my ex were his words. Like exactly, pretty much verbatim. And I'm like, why? I mean, yay, go back to her. Congratulations. Why'd you break up with her then? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really sad I ever called him Grocery Store Joe. He's Food for Less Joe.
Food for Less. Brings me back to I think Bachelor is, and the whole like series is cursed right now, and it's been flop after flop after flop because the actual contestants aren't authentic, aren't people who actually really like. I used to believe it when they were like 27 and you know, I've had so many bad relationships and I just want to find someone who loves me. I believe it from Gabby because Gabby is gorgeous but mentally broken because of her mom.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So like that whole like nobody loves me thing is authentic when it comes to Gabby. But 99.9% of the contestants who actually go on the show are these gorgeous beings who have only hopes of becoming Instagram famous. So, you know, sorry, maybe you should go for the slightly older, maybe 30. And I love how they act like 32 is like ancient. So,
oh my God. Right. And then
25 is too young.
Yeah. And I'm going to bring this back up, but now that I know that they're getting these guys, especially it seems like off of Instagram, like, well, no wonder you're not having any quality men, these poor girls and guys, but geez. And then BB said this earlier, I about fell out of my chair. You're too young for me. I said, isn't she like 27 tops? And then it was like, oh no, she's 26 and we're only a few months apart. I was like, bruh.
I think at that point she was just trying to break up with him.
Yeah, I think
No,
so too.
she was completely trying to break up with him.
Yeah.
That morning when they woke up and they were talking about how coffee is bitter, you're like,
Awkward. Something was
I
wrong.
love
Something
Zach.
happened.
I was rooting for Zach and Tyler. I fell in love with Tyler immediately. The first time they went out together and
Yeah.
you really got to know him, I was like, oh my God, this guy, he is precious. I adore him. And then Zach, like that their one-on-one
movie?
date.
Oh my God, tears.
I was crying. I'm like, oh my
And that date that they had with the airplanes watching them, I was like, nostalgia. That's
And
how
then
you do
he's related to, and this is just a famous thing, he's related to freaking Patrick Warburton. Warburton? How do you say
I
it?
was like, for a second, I was like, is that guy? And then he's like,
Yeah.
and then my uncle, who's just so
Yeah.
talented. I'm like, oh my
This
God,
is my
I love
uncle
that
Pat.
guy.
And I'm like, hold the phone. Nobody said he
I
was
like how
related
it just
to
like
Zach.
was
I
so
love Pat.
random.
Yeah.
So random. And then they never even, they showed him like once. I'm like, can we see more of Pat, please? I love Pat. For those of you who are in the chat, like who? The voice of Joe from Family Guy, the wheelchair guy from, and Soren. He's Patrick is it Warburton? Something like that. I love him. Love him.
Yeah.
I about fell in my chair. I was like, pick that one. He's related to Pat.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's your sole qualification.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. I don't need much. It's fine. Yeah.
Now, hot take on I don't know if you want to jump ahead. I know you have a
No, yeah, we're all over the place. It's all
We
good.
are, I'm sorry.
So Zach mentioned that Fantasy Suite used to be about banging. Okay, let's be honest. Like,
Yes.
we banged and we woke up and there was clothes strewn everywhere. Like, that's what I expect from the typical like previous years of Fantasy Suite. And I'm not mad at this. Like, oh, we took the time to have conversations without cameras, which is what this season was all about, apparently. So Zach goes, we had a conversation about, the real stuff like politics and forgot what else. It was like religion, politics, and something else. And I was like, holy you're about to get engaged and you're having that conversation the week before you want to get engaged. I'm like, that sounds like something you should have had a conversation with your partner a long time ago. So I think that's what broke them up.
Absolutely. Because isn't he from Texas?
He's definitely a conservative. Like,
that's it.
I him. He's definitely like he's a born again Baptist Christian or something. Like, I saw a picture of him like on a beach, like baptizing his buddy. I'm like, that was definitely a religion / politics. Yeah,
this is like a Garrett and Becca situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's 100% it. And instead of being honest with him, she did the whole, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be whatever. I'm gonna be a bitch is basically what she did. Wow. That's 100% what it was. There's no that now that you say that, there's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt that's 100% what it was.
She got the ick.
Wow. Which I mean, hey, politics are very important. You want to make sure you have similar view. I mean, you don't have to be exactly the same on everything, but you need to similar enough views. People were trying to guess who the MAGA person was.
Remember that Rachel from Florida? Right. Listen, Florida's not all like that. I live in Florida and I live in a super blue area. Like,
it depends on where you're at. Like, DeSantis is taking all the news, and I think Orlando is pretty red.
Most of the state is pretty red, except like even like Miami is actually surprisingly red. But there's like the Palm Beaches where she's from, super blue.
Oh yeah,
really? Yeah. I feel like this show is probably mostly blue.
Yes.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. You can tell by sometimes you can tell by some of the way that some of these men look. And you're like, oh, you were raised on soy milk. Cool. Bye.
I'm still trying to make up my mind about Eric with that mullet or whatever that haircut is.
Like, he needed a haircut like midway through and he just never got one.
Does it grow naturally like that? I have questions.
No, that's definitely a on purpose thing, I think. Because I went back on his Instagram and that is his hair. Like he chooses to live that way. The life of the mullet.
Ew.
Hi, Brahma.
Ew.
Thank you.
Hello, Brahma.
The only one
not a
that can pull off a mullet is Morgan Wallen. Okay. Morgan Wallen is the only one allowed to have a mullet at this point in time in our lives. All right. That's it.
Dang. Okay, let's see. More controversies happening. Let's talk about we can talk about the actual proposals to the cheating, now. I think that would be actually a good place to go. So Rachel ends up with Tino, who,
Joe
by the
Scott.
way, can I just say, midway through the episode, I'm like, Tino looks like Justin Trudeau.
I thought that from the beginning,
Right.
and I could never unsee it.
He's got
Like, it
this,
hit me. I was like, he looks familiar, and I couldn't place it. And then I don't know, he said something a certain way, and I for life I can't remember what it was. And I was like, oh my god, he looks like Trudeau. And I can't stand him. I didn't like him from that moment. I didn't like him really before, but I really didn't like him from that moment. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Anyways, they get engaged, and of course, we find out during the proposal that she's all like stank face.
Oh yeah, on the
And-
camera, the reaction camera. Yeah.
Then we realize he's cheated. How do you feel about how they kind of handled it? Like, it feels so weird that they videotaped it.
Yeah, that's not the first breakup they videotaped in
No,
the
it's
history of the
not.
show. Like
Um,
Ari is the famous
Ari
one.
is-
Yeah, Ari.
but,
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And
or maybe it's part of the contract. Maybe it's part of the. It might be. Maybe it's part of the contract.
well,
Like,
because
if
we
you-
also saw Hannah and what's his face, Jed, break up as well. So maybe it is part of the contract. But like, I felt like, okay, she had every right to be upset, and the way she was upset, I was like, "You go, girl! I love it. I love it. You kick his ass." The way you're speaking to him, and she had every right to be upset.
Yeah,
It
oh,
was
yeah.
more the after the final rose that I was like, ooh. I might not be as happy that she didn't hear him out. I think she was just so mad at him she didn't want to listen to him at all.
Well, I agree with Caitlin, who, by the way, has had surgeries somewhere. She looks.
Fillers.
I didn't
Fillers.
recognize her. I was like, who is that? Anywho,
Yeah.
girl, stop. You're beautiful. Like, stop it. Anyway, sidebar. I agree with Caitlin. Like, we saw eight different personalities from him. Like,
Yeah, he was sad, angry, upset, he almost mean. He almost was like gaslighting her at one point.
Yeah. Right.
So that's why I was like, okay, but I guess I still don't 100% understand. So they got into a fight. It was the premiere. And then she's like, I'm tired. I don't want to sleep with you in the same bed. And I'm going to give you back the ring. And we're still together. And then I guess he left and went to kiss someone. Is that the timeline? Is that what I'm trying to understand? Like, is that how you guys understood it?
Yeah, it was one of those like Friends moments. Like, we were on a break. Were they on a break? No one
Oh my
agrees if they were
God.
on a break or not. Yeah, I agree with BB. I mean, that they're both super cringe, and I honestly feel like they deserve each other because I still, again, not Team Rachel. I think she's super dramatic and needy and crazy.
That whole thing was weird. And then the fact that, and I think the key to all of this is the stuff that the producers cut out of their conversation. And I don't know if that was a producer decision or if that was a Rachel decision. She was like, that's embarrassing. And I don't, whatever that was, because she specifically was like, there's stuff of that conversation that they cut out that I don't think you want public. And he was like, no, I don't want it public. I don't want it public. So what is that?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to know because I'm nosy, but also like, he reacted pretty like, no, I don't want that out. I don't want that out.
He didn't want it out in the first place. Remember when she was talking with Gabby and she's like, he didn't even want me to tell anyone. I'm like,
true. That's true. But it's like, what are you like? So there's that. Those are the pieces we're missing. Something is missing. I think that he obviously was in the wrong, but I think there's on her end, there's more to it that she's not willing to talk about or willing to say in front of thousands of people who are watching the show. I'm just like,
I do think that, part of being the Bachelorette, you have these other obligations and then you have to go home and I don't even know if she's working. So I get it that she's tired, but it takes two. So if you're not okay, I don't know if there was something in terms of communication that they could have improved on.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, they both obviously feel things for each other. And just now she's just got this wall of red angriness against him.
Yeah. So that tells me honestly, her anger, like it's justified because he cheated on her. So I'm here for it. But her anger to me almost felt like she was embarrassed.
Mhm.
Like when you are so adamant about something and you turn out to be wrong, like you get that anger where you're embarrassed and you're mad because you were wrong and you're like, God dang it, and you're embarrassed that you're wrong. That's how it felt to me. It didn't feel like she was, it's not on the couch, but at the ceremony, at the after final rose, the finale, when she was still so mad at him. I'm like, it almost feels like she's trying to cover, like she wants to be angry and keep the focus on the cheating aspect of it and the lot, which is fine, but you're almost overcompensating. Like what?
Yeah.
There's something more to it, and I think it's on whatever it is on her end. I
Which
think that he was right, and I think that she refused. I think he was right, and she did kind of like break it off in a way.
yeah.
And
Well,
men are not subtle, you know?
he did say, "I'm not faulting you," and he said it so many times. It's
Yeah.
all on me. It's all on me. Like I'm not talking about you. And then when she got mad, she's like, "Tino, you're bringing this up again. You know, we talked about this already, and you want to bring this up now? You want to
Yeah.
talk about this now?" And I'm like, "Holy crap!
Yeah.
I want to know more."
There's something there, and I would put a stake on it that she is embarrassed because he was right about something, and she's too embarrassed to make that focus on herself. So it's either that they were on a break and she's wrong about that, or something else is going on. But it was an embarrassed anger. She wasn't just mad. It was more of like, I did something wrong and I'm embarrassed to admit that I'm wrong. And so I'm going to lash out and make it all about you, which he was in the wrong too. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Something's off. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Bean asks, "What do you think about Tina's little black book?" It's a bachelorette thing. A lot of them journal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
they're
think
not allowed to have TV or any form of outside communication with the world. So a lot of
Yes,
them,
they write down
Yeah.
stuff.
a lot of them journal. And I mean, you have a lot of downtime, especially as contestants. So you might as well write down your feelings and thoughts. And then that way you can like look back and maybe inspire yourself to feel better because all you're doing is thinking while you're there.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing else to do. And it's helped a couple times, like, the poems and stuff. Like that's how Tyler wrote his little poem and
Mhm.
that kind of thing. And so it can help and like get your feelings out. Like there was a Bachelor, was it Bachelor? I can't remember who, years and years ago, like a bazillion years ago, that wrote down, like he was writing down like pros and cons lists of the girls and kind of came to the conclusion that this girl wasn't right for him. Like that, it's a good way to get out your vibes and your thoughts and your whatever, and you write down stuff. And that
Yeah.
the girl that got sent home was so mad. Like, how dare you write that list? That's so misogynist. She got through a tantrum, but
Girls
whatever.
do that too.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. What
Both.
do you think about Tino, Joe, and the whole Tino and Rachel situation?
I think they're both psychopaths. Like I really do. Like I would pay a psychologist to like, okay, watch a show from the beginning and tell me that there's not something wrong with both of them.
There is a YouTuber that's a psychologist, something in Seattle. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, you've talked about him before. He goes through the show.
And he does a lot of 90 Day Fiance. I bet he probably does Bachelorette and Bachelor.
I would be shocked if he doesn't. 90 Day Fiance is like
90 Day Fiance is
think
gold.
Tino is a narcissist, and I felt like his obsession with winning is what was driving him. And
yeah,
I don't really feel that the love that they had, because it was so intense. Like everyone else, this is the thing that threw me, is like as I choke. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So you don't die.
Don't die.
Everything everybody else, from Gabby's contestants to everyone else that Rachel was with, all except for Zach, because Zach was just like also felt really in love, but clearly he figured out that he was wrong. Everyone was like, I really like you and I want to keep dating you, but this seems a little soon. So
because of the time.
Weird. Yeah. And I feel like maybe there really was cut down time. Maybe they didn't have enough time because there was two contestants and two bachelorettes with twice or a crap ton of guys. So I'm really thinking the dates were probably cut short because they just didn't have the time, like a production schedule, and they're not going to give them dates that they're not going to film. So maybe they really did have less time. So it makes sense to me that it was a normal human reaction. Even when Avon was like, dude, I really like you. I really, really like you. But I'm just like, I don't think we're there yet. And Eric said the same thing. Like and it was just like watching Gabby was frustrating. But again, I understand that has that psychological thing. where she went one by one, losing, like running out of guys because no one was ready to commit to an engagement. I mean, I think she ended up with Eric, and that was fine. But to me, it was a sign that the process was not working as it should. Except
Yeah.
Tino, who was like, I was ready. Like, I felt this way from
I was
like
ready from
blah,
day
blah, blah.
one.
Yeah,
When I
so
got that first impression rose.
yes.
Yeah, I
Too much.
just yeah,
That's not
something was
normal.
rushed. And I don't know if it's just what we watched was rushed and it was a normal thing otherwise, and they had like two different camera crews and
Mhm.
they just had to cut it and make it look rushed that way, or if it was a rushed season because there was twice the like twice the people, you know, two bachelorettes, a bazillion and a half guys there, especially at the beginning. I don't
It
I don't know.
was definitely production time, I think, because there was 32 guys, and they didn't cut down to their normal number. Remember, they
No.
only cut 3, and
Mhm.
then because it's a bachelor and 2 bachelorettes, so you have to follow these 2 conversations, and then the amount of drama that happened in between. It just like there was just almost drama every week. Wasn't as bad as in Clayton's season. That drama.
Oh
Uh,
God. Yeah.
bless. What's her name? Shayna? No, not Shayna.
No, I think you're right.
Naya? It was shit. I don't know. Shrimp curl.
Yeah, it's a name, but
Shanae.
Shanae.
Shanae,
Yeah.
Shanae. Yeah,
Shayna's
'cause she
from
was doing the Shanae.
yeah,
Yeah.
Shanae. Yeah, no, because I just watched After the Altar, the Love is Blind. And there's
Oh
a
yeah.
Shayna that's like a bit of a drama stir. Anyways, so she caused a lot of the drama, which was more annoying. Whereas this drama is like it's been someone different every week, or
Mm.
oh, they don't like me. And I just feel like that's been just a overlying concept for the whole thing, because also there's 2 bachelorettes, and to have the choice has
Yeah.
really hurt their egos. They're
Yeah.
supposed to feel coveted and loved and on a pedestal, but if you have 2 there and there's a choice, like of course you're not going to feel special.
Yeah, well, and that also gives the guys like, oh, well, we can hop from one to the other until we're ready
Yeah. Look at
to make whatever
Meatball.
commitment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. God.
And I'm pretty sure there's this again, I wish a psychologist would break this down and like I would like sit there and watch it. But there is a whole mob mentality aspect to why guys fall in love faster with the Bachelorette. It's like if you have a room full of guys who all want one person, that person is now on a pedestal. And even if they didn't, like if they had just taken those 2 people individually, like in the real world, they would not probably have, been
Yeah.
as excited. It gets
Yeah.
amps up the value of that person to have this one person on a pedestal with 30 people vying for that person. It's a competitive thing. It's just naturally how the human brain works.
Mhm.
But we wasted valuable time of them developing those feelings of, ooh, coveted girlfriend, potential wife. Like, how many weeks was it before we split up the groups? So they
Yeah.
were not fermenting those thoughts of, obsession almost that these guys get, because now there was 2 people that they could choose from, lowering those 2 girls from their pedestal and now giving them power and making it more realistic. So I think that also contributed to the fact that they did not have the time to mentally develop
Yeah.
those extreme feelings of love or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know if it's true love, honestly. At the end of a Bachelor season, I at least know it's some component of
I
extreme
think
infatuation.
Yeah.
Gabby and Eric at this point, I would say they have a better chance,
Mhm.
I really
but
wanted her to be with Nate.
I don't think and being I agree with you that they're gonna break up. It's just a matter of time. I don't think she doesn't seem stable mentally enough. Like the
Yeah.
fact that she's still seeking these, it seems like she's seeking these men or a man to fill a
Validation.
void.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well,
Validation.
she didn't choose Eric either. He was default. You know what I mean? Like she sent other people home, Jason and her got into it, whatever, and he was the only one left. So it's like there's this pressure to, oh yeah, we're gonna make this work, we're gonna make this work. So that's always a concern. I truly think that Nate was her best
Nate was her
mate,
person. She was just scared to be a mom.
which I
Mhm.
get. I feel her pain. I understand completely where she's coming from, but
But
that's
he he was, I think he was her person,
I
to
think
be
so
honest.
too.
Like they connected, they goofed around at the right amount. Um he seemed to have a good head on his shoulders, and I think she needs more of a fatherly figure.
Yeah.
And
because she obviously hasn't healed whatever that is. That whole thing with her mom, which again can relate. You have to heal that in order to, if you want marriage, if you want babies, like if those are things that you want, you need to get to the root of that. And she obviously has not yet, which is why she let Nate go, because he was totally okay with like, we can work on this, it's going to be fine, like we don't have to rush into it or whatever, you know what I mean? He would have waited for her and worked through it with her, and she got in her head.
And that's the type of person you want to end up with, someone who is like, I it sucks to be a part of this process and know you're going to be with people, whereas Eric wasn't. And just be patient, because in the end, at least they have explored every type of guy to the maximum.
Yeah.
Even though it sucks.
Yeah. It just is, it's interesting to watch, both of them. Gabby, I felt Gabby was more real than Rachel was. So I'm with you on that, Joe.
Yeah.
But they would say things like, I want to feel seen. I want to feel heard. I want somebody who wants me from the beginning. And both of them let go the two guys, Tyler, and I'll say Zach too. Tyler and Zach on Rachel's side, and Nate, who was there literally the moment he walked out of the limo, and it was like, I'm here for that one. That's the one I'm here for. Didn't waver once.
Yeah.
Doted on her. All of the things that we always say we want, and here you are kicking them out. And now look at you. You got cheated on by Trudeau, and you have somebody that
man child. I feel like Eric is definitely a man child and just not mature enough to, like, I believe he probably does love Gabby, but she needs someone like stable and emotionally mature like Nate. And I know a lot of people are anti-Nate because some ex came out and talked crap about him, but if we were going to be judged by our exes, like, I think we would all have dirty laundry. Like, if I were like, like one of my exes who really doesn't like me were to go to Rolando and be like, you're back before we were married, your girlfriend is a biatch because she said this to me, or she did, like, obviously we're an ex for a reason, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's like, I'm not gonna judge anybody by what someone you broke up with is gonna say. So if things were not, Nate clearly didn't take her seriously. I don't know, maybe somebody would say I have an internalized misogynistic tendencies if I believe the guy, but I just think, you know what, things just don't work out. I didn't treat every boyfriend the same. I was more serious about some of them, and it has everything to do with an individual connection with someone. So he said, I'm not going to bring my daughter around somebody I'm not serious about.
Yeah, exactly. And you grow with each person too. Like, maybe he did do the things that this ex is saying that he did. Maybe he was just a terrible, awful person. Well, it's when you're with somebody that's not right for you, you are a terrible person. I've been there where I was with somebody that was not good for me, and I was literally the worst version of myself. And so you step outside that. When you finally end that relationship, you learn that and you grow, and that's what leads you to be where you are now. That's what led you to be able to be with Rolo and be okay with, whatever your guys' relationship is. For X-Ray Girl and Mark, same thing. We all go through these trials, and that's the whole freaking point of it, and then you get together at a certain point, and then you grow together, and either that's a growth that lasts forever, or that's a growth that lasts this amount of time, and you go and get apart, and the next person, you're even more mature, and you're even more grown up, and you even know more what you want, blah, 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 exes or whatever. Unless that ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, whoever comes out and is like, he held me down and raped me and beat me within an inch of my life, and I have proof of it. I don't care. You know what I mean? My roommate's like, whoa.
What is happening?
Cheated on me with 30 different women, whatever. We all grow up, we all have so much growing to do.
Anyway, yeah. And I love Nate in the show. I'll say it.
I love Nate a lot. I really did. His hair needed some work, but that's just,
I don't know. It was giving me like Michael B. Jordan vibes the whole time from that Wakanda movie.
It is. Yeah, you're right. Maybe that's why I was like, maybe that's why. Like, oh, I don't know about this hair. But, and the safety pin earring was interesting.
That was it. He accessorized very interesting.
Did you notice he wore like a woman's necklace every episode? He wore pearls.
Yes, I remember that. He wore, I think it was like pearls and a chain. That
I would
one,
like
and
to
I was
know
like,
where that came from. Like, is it from his mom? Is it in honor of his daughter? Like, I have questions.
No, that's a new thing. Apparently, I saw Harry Styles was wearing women's jewelry, so I think that's
Harry
it's a thing.
Styles.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That dog stepped on a
so
bee.
random. Your poor dog. Your poor dog. So yeah, do you think Avon and Rachel are gonna date?
I don't know, but I thought that was so stinking cute that he came for her.
I thought it was so funny that it was in front of Tino, and they panned to his face, and he's just like, "I have to like put a straight face on." Like,
a lot of
awkward.
Bachelor Nation, like a lot of the, well, I don't know how you guys feel about Nick Viall, but it was Nick Viall and I think Kate, I forgot who it was, but there was a couple people who had like podcasts in Bachelor Nation who was like, that was effed up.
Really?
To do it in front of him. I think it was not nice. Like, you just had a fight, and then to have that happen, that wasn't nice. No, I agree with that. I do like that Avon did that, but the show did Tino dirty. But the show is also very behind the women.
Yes.
And behind the drama. So the more drama, and also you cheated on her. The bottom line is, whatever the drama was between the two of you, which we'll never know now because the secrets are forever, you chose to step out. So I don't know. Nick Viall, I'm on the fence on. I can't decide if I like him or hate him. I think he has good points sometimes.
He's grown up a lot.
To do. He has grown up a lot. He did a TikTok video about the Adam Levine drama and was like, "I'm sorry, but can we stop supporting the girl who revealed those DMs? Like, hello, dirty laundry. Remember back in the day when we were embarrassed to be sleeping with married men? I'm just no. All right." He's like, "She is not the victim here."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I was like,
I need to watch that video.
Oh God.
I haven't. I don't want to. I kind of don't want to.
She's an idiot. She legit says at one point in the video, I thought this wasn't real. I had to go watch it for myself. She legit was like, "I was new to LA and I just didn't know. And I'm so young. And I was new to LA." And she just kept bringing up the fact that she was new to LA. I'm like, Adam Levine has been around for like 20 years at this point. He has been with this woman for at least 5, maybe longer. I don't know the exact time. How do you not? You were in the entertainment industry. Stop it. I'm new to LA. Oh, please. It's called Google, lady.
I was going to say, she's not new to the internet, though.
No, clearly with the TikTok.
I can't with Generation Tide Pod. I really just can't. But she slid in. The ironic part is I'm pretty sure I saw something where she actually reached out to him first.
Ooh.
You didn't Google the guy first? You didn't do a little tippy tap on Google and be like, "Who's this guy?"
You could find out a lot of information on someone's Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter.
You ignored all the photos he's posted over the last however many years with his wife and children. Hello? McFly? Hello? I know you're 21 and you're stupid, but bro.
No, that he was a notch on her belt.
Yeah. I get to sleep with Maroon 5.
This is her way to go viral too. So.
Oh, absolutely. And that.
It's a pity party. Yeah, I'm the victim.
And women are rallying behind her. "Oh, you're so amazing, queen, for exposing him." Like, yay. I'm like,
was it? Oh no, it was on Simpcast where people who do this sort of stuff, they want to show off that they did it with someone famous and then have people rally behind them so that they're dipping on both ends.
Yeah.
Well,
like, didn't that happen to Clayton? Some girl came out and was like, I got hit on by Clayton. And then
no, she said she slept with him in New York. She was like,
no, but it was like some doppelganger.
Yeah, it was a doppelganger.
Like, where's your man? Because he's here with me or something. Like, I don't know, something stupid to Susie. And then it turned out to be completely fake because Susie was like, I have proof he was with me.
Yeah. he was in Arizona. I love Susie. I absolutely adore her. She gives 0 Fs. Like, they have their locations turned on. So this girl slides into her DMs and was like, "Oh, by the way, your man's cheating on you. I effed him last night." Like, super vulgar in New York. You said he was in Arizona for press stuff or wherever. I think it was Arizona, but he's in New York with me. Like, bound chicka wow. His D looks like that. I mean, just like, girl,
oh my god,
you're proud of yourself. Calm down, kind of thing, right? And Susie just was kind of like, "Oh, weird. Okay, bet." And she pulls up the location tracker, and his phone is literally in the hotel he said he was in. in Arizona at the time. Like, she's like,
Yeah.
weird how that
They're
works. Huh? Yes, and they
they're
are
still
still together. I
together.
adore them. I follow them on
They're
TikTok.
they're a good couple. They're a good couple.
Do
I
you know
like
that
them.
Susie used to be a Disney princess
I
in
can see it.
That
Disney
doesn't surprise
Tokyo?
me. Yeah.
I could see
I bet
that.
she was Cinderella too. She looks like a
She
Cinderella.
would be a perfect Cinderella.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to be a Disney princess, I think, except for the makeup and the hair. Depends on which
Yeah,
princess.
that's the hardest part is you gotta wear that wig all day. And then the
Yeah.
heat,
Oh,
both
but
coasts.
yeah.
God,
My friend, because she's Filipino, she plays like Jasmine and Moana
oh yeah.
and a bunch of them. And I'm like, it looks so fun. It looks so pretty, except
I can
your
see
hair looks ridiculous.
Yeah, I can see Susie as she could have been a Snow White too.
She
But
did
Cinderella,
Snow White,
Sleeping
Little
Beauty.
Mermaid, and Belle.
Oh,
She
she'd be
was a
perfect,
Belle.
Val. Yeah.
She's actually a natural brunette.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Most people are, aren't they? Is there such thing as a natural blonde? Very few.
Very
Yeah.
few. I feel like they're like a dying breed.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what is this? I don't know this drama. I
What
love
about Eric's
Oh yeah,
ex-girlfriend?
So they like glossed over this. So oh wait, in his high school photo, are you talking about the girl who just texted him or just came out saying that she was dating him before the show, and then or his blackface? Because those were his two big controversies.
I
So
thought it was just the texts and the
yeah.
dating one. I don't know
Because he
about this one.
basically, I mean, let's be honest, he got scouted. He was dating someone, so he broke up with the girlfriend that he had, and was like, "Listen, I'm gonna go on this show, okay? So we're gonna take some time." So he broke up with her to go on the show, and then he texted her after the show just to be like, "Yeah, not coming back or whatever." So it's not like he was trying to get back to her with her. He didn't get back with her, so I don't really have a huge problem with that, knowing that 90% of the contestants go on the show to be Instagram famous. And anybody who is like in denial about that is just like,
Lying.
you're not right. You're not right. It's the reality. Nobody is like, I can't find somebody when they're 23. I don't believe you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's the high school photo thing though.
And I think like from my understanding in the episode, like he was apparently transparent about that with her before it came out.
Yeah.
So I think that, if we want to compare this to Hannah and Jed, Jed left with a girlfriend. I don't think he broke up with her at the time. So I don't know about Eric. There's semantics on his part. But
no, Jed was still with his girlfriend. That was the big drama afterwards.
Yeah. So if Jed had came back, broke up, and told Hannah prior to things coming out, they might have still been together. But I think he took the right steps because, I mean, he didn't know what was going to happen. That's the reality, It's almost double standards to say that, like, is that okay for the girls to date like that versus the guys?
I think so. I think especially if you're getting scouted, right? And you
He
make that decision. Now, I think the debate really is that morally okay for you to be dating? Like, let's say, well, what if Eric and his girlfriend were together for like 3 or 4 years and he was planning on marrying her and Bachelorette was like, hey, you want to be on Bachelorette?
That's different.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a gray area in there, but if you're dating and it's casual,
non-committal,
somebody and
from reading what she like about the relationship, I don't think they were super like they were together, but I don't think they were like heart attack serious. So I think he was probably like, that was just a girlfriend, and do I have the chance to go on a TV show?
And I mean, if he had his phone, would he have texted her midway through the season and been like, sorry, bye?
Yeah, I think, and he even said something when they were, in Mexico and having their back and forth about whether he was ready or not. He said something to Gabby like, I didn't expect to actually, he said something like, I came into this not expecting to have this be real or something like that. So that really, like, when he said it, I already knew about this drama stuff. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, I believe him about how he feels about Gabby. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably went on the show, was maybe looking to get, pick up a few 100,000 followers on Instagram, and ended up realizing he actually liked the girl. So, I think that's happened to a lot of people. So I think that's okay. I don't have no problem with, he ended up really did falling in love with her. So it's okay.
And I'm okay with it. Like if you're dating somebody beforehand, you decide to break up, the gray area is there, but that's neither here nor there. That's semantics. You break up with them and you go on the show and then you're like, hey, this did work out. I'm so sorry. I like the way he handled that. I think that that's cool. Unlike Jed, who was like,
lies
I
upon
got
lies.
you when I come back, boo. We're going to be rich. It's going to be freaking awesome. And look whose music career is in the toilet.
Oh my goodness. It's very true. It's very true.
This is a cat.
Poor
She's
kitty.
shaved, okay? I had to shave her. Right?
Poor
Leave her
kitty.
alone.
Wait, why did you shave your cat?
She's 13 now. She doesn't groom herself as like she usually, so she gets matted. And so we get to
shave. It was
shave.
really funny when I didn't know poor thing was shaved.
I forgot to tell my girl. She comes walking back here and she's like, mid-sentence, oh my God, what happened to your cat?
Thinking like your poor cat got into like a fight, needed surgery or something like that. So it's so cute. Big Raj, thank you for the thumbs up super sticker. Thank you.
I secretly want to shave our cat because she's a long hair cat and she sheds like crazy.
Yeah, this one, she's got like the worst fur. She's got real thick fur and she sheds, and she's got dry skin, so it sheds even more. And so it's just like allergy city.
Poor thing.
So I love shaving her because it's awesome, but I know she is like super embarrassed by it.
And she lets you. My God, I think mine would kill me.
Oh no, I brought her to the vet. I was like, you can knock her out. I'll be back.
Okay. It'd be too hard to do it without the anesthetic.
Yeah, well, and I didn't want to because her mats, so like my boys, they have a bunch of fur, but their mats will stay at the end of the fur, like up here, so I can just cut them out. Hers get like right on the skin. So if I try and cut them at a certain point, like I'll just make her bleed, and I don't want to do that.
Poor thing. John Thomas for $2. I just want to know, did the girls stay friends? Yeah.
They did.
They if they didn't find love with a man, they found love with each other.
Yeah. I was worried about that because we talked about that when they announced it. I was like, oh God, this is going to ruin their friendship. And to be honest with you, it almost did. Like it almost was a problem because they were, was it Rachel getting rejected first? I can't remember now. And then they decided to go their separate ways and like do it as two separate bachelorettes. And I think that if they're going to do this in the future, I think the showrunners need to keep that in mind and be like, look, maybe the first week, maybe second week, it's a big mosh pit. And you guys can feel each other out, but after week 3 or so, start picking. Because
I just didn't like how they didn't help the girls. Like it was entirely their choice on how to do everything. And then like, what do they do? When do they break off? It was all up to them. Like maybe help them a bit more, maybe make guidance. Like, I don't know. It just felt too loosey-goosey.
Yeah. I also really didn't like the structure of, okay, so the girls picked some list of guys and then gave roses out, and if the guy said no, he got ousted completely versus like, no, I'm here for Gabby. Like maybe Gabby wasn't considering those people. This is exactly what happened with Logan. Gabby did like Logan initially. Had she had like, if Logan rejected Rachel, Gabby should still have been able to be like, oh well, you want to come on my team.
Same thing with like the whole like one-on-ones when they went on dates with certain women at the beginning, and then they're like, gone. I was like, what if the other one was interested? Also, they only had one-on-one each week, so they didn't have their normal 2.
It's normally 2, yeah. I mean, I guess they're in their heads. It was, well, we're getting 2 one-on-ones. It's just 2 different people, but
but it's not the same.
And that also might have contributed to the fact that nobody had any really strong like, I'm ready to get engaged at the end of this, except for psychotic Tino. So.
Psycho Tino. Yeah.
And I just want to say, Jordan V, the guy, the blonde drag racer, I don't know what Rachel didn't like in him. He was so cute and so sweet.
They understood each other's jobs. It was like, it seemed like it would have been perfect. And then she kept some like horrible people instead.
And like really not good looking. Like if you really look at Tino's got a really weird face. He looks like he's got this giant chin and thin lips and crazy eyes, and I'm like,
Trudeau.
I knew it was a problem when she had problems with his family.
Yeah.
Like that's
Oh my
always
god. That
big
was
thing.
the and they're like basically like, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, mad props to them for being honest, but yikes. And she's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how I got out of there alive. And I'm like, that's called a red flag.
It's yeah. Poor parents being dragged into this and then having that about them being like the mean parents.
Justice for Zach. Okay. I love Zach. I'm
Yeah.
glad he's the Bachelor. I was sad for him.
Andrew Matthews for £5 British. Where's my chainsaw powered wine opener sound alert? Yeah, no. We're not playing that game right now. Not getting scared. Not today. Thank you, Andrew, though. Chewy for 5. Hey, ladies, and to everyone watching Poor Choices H-Town in the house. And catch me in the Heights tomorrow at Christian's Tailgate for steak night.
Ooh, steak.
Love steak. Probably
Yes.
should get steak sometime.
That sounds amazing.
Andrew Matthews. This is for Kitty for £2 British. Why don't you get an outfit for your cat?
Because it's 100 degrees still here.
I don't think cats like clothes.
They don't
No.
really. I mean, honestly, I would have had to do that to her from the beginning. Although I could try. Get a little sweater, put it on.
Maybe I should give you some from my like closet. That'd
Some
be fun.
hand me down puppy clothes.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
size.
Hey. Oh my god, your cat's face right now. I know it's because of the marking, but it just looks so shocked.
She's like
okay, so and before we kind of start we wait. Southern Belle, hello.
Hi, Southern Belle. I know you
missed
have more
out.
notes, X-Ray girl. I know you
Yeah.
have more notes.
Yeah, so this is Jay Schwalbuck. I don't know what happened, but yesterday you did donate like $50. Thank you. No message.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I appreciate that.
Maybe he was
Thinking
tipsy
about-
on a Tuesday.
Yeah, making poor choices, so you thought about poor choices. Yeah.
The answer to this question is January.
Oh, that's so late. That's so late.
Well, that's a lie. We'll start towards Halloween. It'll drop down to 80. It's a 50-50
can't wait
shot
for
of whether or not
Halloween.
Halloween is cold. And then we'll hover in the 60s and 70s, probably about the 70s, all the way through Christmas. And then January, we get about a 2-week period of it's cold outside.
It is cold outside.
Does it
Desert
ever
life.
dip below 50?
Yeah. We'll get below 50. We actually get in January, we'll get freezing times where we
Actually, I should know this. I've been into Vegas in January and
Yeah.
I was unexpectedly cold. I did
It's-
not like it. Yeah.
January is our coldest month, and we even get every now and then we get like freezing temperatures at night, like it'll drop down in the 20s and everybody's pipes burst. It's a good time.
Oh, snap. That would be scary. Holy crap.
It's a good time. Yeah, they're like wrap your pipes, or we'll do like you'll leave the faucet on at night to let water run through them so they don't get too cold.
Wow.
It's desert life hashtag.
Okay. Are you guys excited to watch Bachelor in Paradise?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna watch it.
Guys.
I love that Shanae is in a love triangle and she is struggling between two people. I'm actually surprised that
I don't know how anybody could date her after watching that season, to be honest. Like if you were a man and you watched Clayton's season and you still want to date her, you have problems. Okay.
But she's good looking.
She is good looking. She's a little crazy.
That's
Guys
the
seem
wrong
to like
head
that.
you're thinking with here, people.
Yeah. Maybe she learned. I don't remember if she learned in Women Tell All, but
I highly doubt that.
No, she did not.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Never mind.
She was like stuck to her guns and just was a bitch. So,
and I saw Rachel was in a moment on the beach. I would love to see if she actually went down there and dated. I don't think so. I think she was just there for a date, but who knows? Who knows? It'd be so weird to be back with the men for a season. But I'm excited to watch it. We'll see if we actually comment on it in this crazy Shanae. Yes.
Yes, girl.
Yeah, she said love
She's gonna be on Paradise.
triangle. And apparently there was a hint about a threesome on the beach.
also, why would anyone date Aaron after watching Aaron basically ignore all the women for a season and then he's back. I'm like, no.
Right? Like, buddy. This varies. Sometimes it's May. Sometimes it's June. It varies. It just depends.
Who else am I? I'm excited to see Brandon down there.
And what's his bucket? The surfer guy from this season. What the heck is his name?
Jacob. He comes in a leaf, I think.
Why do I get the feeling Jacob and Shanae are going to be a thing?
No, I saw Jacob. His arm was around the girl that like loves dead people or something like that, or was gonna like, no. It was she would put a curse on you if it was in her intro. It was really funny. I think it was supposed to be a joke and it was her humor, but it came off like that looks creepy. On Clayton's season. Let me see if I can find her.
Good night, Corey. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you.
Bye, Corey.
And thank you for my wine glasses yesterday.
Yeah. Clayton's women. Let me see if I can find her. I saw his arm around her, so I just assumed that they're together. Images.
Correct. Yeah. February to April-ish. May's done. It usually starts getting really hot here around Memorial Day in May. And then October, November is nice. I mean, it's not scalding hot. It's just warmer than you would think in October and November. So yeah, I would say October, November.
Was it this girl here?
Has she been on before? Do we know her?
Yeah, this is Clayton's girl. So this one's gonna be there. I believe this girl's there. Who else? Well, Shanae. Somewhere back. Teddy's there. This girl is there as well. I don't remember any of their names though.
No, I think
Rachel's looks so different now. Holy crap.
Yeah.
You mean tan? Tan. Spray tan because
I will say though, this was the first time, at least for me, that I felt that the Bachelorettes looked normal. Like they weren't super skinny, they weren't super fit. Rachel's got a little bit of, she's not overweight, but she's got a little bit of heaviness to her. Just a smidge. Like you can tell that she's got a little bit here and everything. Gabby is homely in the face. Like she's got a banging body, but she's a little bit more homely. She's not a Victoria's Secret model. Every time I feel like they pick these Bachelorettes, especially, they're like super skinny. They're like Tyra Banks and what was the brunette angel? Adriana, whatever her name was. Like they're just these stunningly gorgeous creatures. I'm like, well, of course everybody's falling all over themselves. You know what I mean? This is really the first season, so representation. Thanks, guys. For a little bit maybe normal looking girls that aren't super skinny.
Yeah.
I was excited. It hit me. I don't remember which date it was, but I was like, oh, Rachel's like, she's got a healthy weight to her. Like, get it, girl.
Yeah. Although I feel like Gabby's gotten smaller throughout the season. Maybe the stress. Poor thing.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
And she doesn't work out. She says she's like, this is the most exercise I've done in like years. I'm like, oh, it's natural. Okay.
Well, if you're a nurse, I will say you do a lot of lifting, so she might not have to exercise. She just does it at work.
And
a
lot
that's
of
true,
on your feet. Yeah, I remember when I was in the medical field, I would walk like 12,000 steps a day.
You're running around. You are basically just a medically trained assistant to your patients. You do all the medical stuff as well, but get the water, bedpans, all this stuff. You're their assistant.
I'm just being honest. I'm also homely looking. Okay, she's not like a drop dead. She's you guys know what I mean. Don't even okay. Objectively, all right. I know I'm no Victoria's Secret. That's it. Adrienne Curry. That's her name. I'm no spring chicken either. It just felt nice. That's why I felt represented. I was like, oh my god, a normal girl. Like we're girl next door looking and not runway model looking. It's so nice. It was nice.
You're
They're beautiful, but they're not beautiful in the runway model way. They're beautiful in as is what an average girl looks like. Okay. Yeah.
Girl next door for sure. John Thomas for $5. Some cats like clothes. Captain Kate and Bug Naked Cat is a hairless. Cool. I've never heard of these cats.
Bug Naked is pretty funny. I bet that's a hairless cat.
Yeah.
Those are
JH Swalbuck for another $39.76. I got you one screen and Sports Wars with Kindle on another. The marketing people on YouTube are very confused right now. Love you all. Just want to support. See you Friday. FNT rules. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shwanda.
That was very
Thank
sweet.
you. Make me feel guilty. I'm just being objective, okay? They're both very pretty. But there's
Hey,
different kind of pretty.
beauty comes in different ways, okay?
Yeah.
Like literally, you could have wanted tall, brunette, skinny, shorter, blonde, heavy and homely.
Heavy and homely. But she's not. She's actually like a good weight, but compared to the other girls, like go back. Compared to the other, they're always
I think
so
it's
skinny.
Rachel standing next to Gabby makes Rachel look chubby.
Well,
Yes,
there's that too. And
it
she's not
really
chubby
is.
in general by any means, but she's just like she's me. She's got thicker arms, and I was like, oh my god, representation.
She's got boobs, she's got hips.
Boobs, yeah.
It's like, and then Gabby's like this gazelle who's like super tall. I think she's like 5'9", and she looks like she's been stretched out. And then of course she lost weight through the season due to stress. And yeah, we're not body shaming. We're just observing.
Observing.
Mm-hmm. We said nothing bad. Homely is not
both
bad
very-
either.
they're
Okay,
both
guys,
beautiful.
having
just was
hips.
nice. It was
we talked
nice
about
not-
yum-yums.
Yeah, it was nice to have girls who got curves to them and aren't, made up with plastic or, God's gift to the earth. Pretty, that kind of thing. Model pretty, pageant model pretty, that kind of thing. Like it was nice. I felt seen. Okay. And like
Well, we've actually had a ton.
okay.
We've had a ton of contestants that were pageant
Ethan.
people.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, sorry. We had Ethan who was like Asian. That's the longest an Asian guy has ever lasted.
I liked him. I thought
I
he was
liked him
cute
a
and
lot,
funny.
too.
Representation.
Well, no, I think what really won me over, like after all the season, was when he told Roby, he's like, "You've not even been here for 4 hours. Shut up!" And I was like, "Yes." Oh, Gooseman. Boys like toothpicks. Men love curvy girls.
Amen
They
to
love
that,
things to hold on to. I get it.
Talk
I
to me,
get it.
Goose. Talk to me, Goose.
Yeah, hips, butt, and boobs.
They don't lie. Those hips don't lie. Know me? Know me? Know me?
Speaking of, we have been talking about Poor Choices merch, so look out in the future for some stuff out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping
yeah.
sooner rather than later.
And I also talked to Jeremy about the possibility of some
I was about to say you guys should have a wine like
wine glasses.
Poor Choices Vineyard.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need wine glasses. So I talked to Jeremy because I was like, I don't know if you had already talked to him or not. And I was like, I know you have connections with some people. What about we're thinking we want to do this? Like the chat really wants glasses, like wine glasses and like whiskey glasses and stuff. So
wine and whiskey, W&W.
Poor choices.
Yes.
Let's make poor decisions.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess that kind of wraps it up. Thank you so much, Joe, for coming on. It was lovely to have you back.
It was great to be back.
And you did it in between your work trip. So
yes, this is not my apartment, guys. I'm in a hotel somewhere.
I don't recognize that background, Joe.
Rolo kicked her ass. Get out.
Yeah.
It's a cute little hotel though. It looks like you got a lot of room in there. Unlike Snoopy.
It's one of those I had and it's funny because I took a picture of the kitchen. I'm like, that's the same exact kitchen ceiling thing that in my actual apartment. And I'm like, this is like a mini version of my real apartment.
Yeah, it's cute. It's got a little kitchenette. I like the little studio hotels like that where you got kitchen, microwave, and stuff. Joe should come back. Well, of course she's gonna come back.
We just talked about Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh,
we should do Geeks and Gamers shot glasses.
That would be great.
Cute colors like black, green, purple, red for all of our symbols.
For all our different channels. Oh God.
All the channels.
If you do shot glasses, can you do the ones that have the little holder, like the ones you get when you go to Gatlinburg and get moonshine glasses? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We will talk about it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. That'll be so freaking cool. So basically, our channel's just about us drinking, and we got everyone to drink. Oh, I love it. And yes, Southern Belle cup holders, bottle openers. Oh, our
That'd be
alcoholic
cool.
channel. We don't have to sell alcohol in order
All
to
right,
get you guys to
look
drink.
here. Do you guys want whiskey glasses or do you want beer glasses?
I like
'Cause
whiskey glasses.
everybody in the chat over the last few weeks have been like the whiskey, like the whiskey tumbler, the short glasses. You know, the whiskey type of glasses. But now you guys want beer. But pick, all right. Jeez. You guys vote amongst yourselves.
You're just gonna do a poll. Beer.
Ooh, cup holders.
Okay.
Mug hat. What's a mug hat?
I have no idea. Is it like a cozy?
I don't know.
No idea.
I
Oh,
thought
that
it
would
was,
be cool.
is it cozy or is it koozie? I have a bad habit of
I
mispronouncing
say
words.
koozie. I don't know what it is, but I say koozie. And everybody
Oh.
looks at me like I'm crazy.
No, but
beer
I really
glasses.
didn't know because it's like half the words that I say. Or Rolando's like, that's not how you say it in English. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I say koozie. I don't know. I've heard it both ways. I don't know which one's the right
Yeah.
one, but wine. No, we're gonna do wine glasses for sure.
We're gonna do the fattest bottom wine glass. I love those types.
Yeah, with that are like thick and heavy, and you have the stem. And you hold it like this. Yeah, then
Yeah.
Also, this is so
Sticky
cute.
season.
It's the only Ray Dunn thing I own. I found it at TJ Maxx. I'm like, I
Nice.
hate Ray Dunn. I think her stuff is so stupid, but this was pretty cute.
That is pretty cute.
It's pretty cute.
So, Joe, where can people find you? Anything you want to promote?
Sure. You guys can find me on the Locked and Loaded Latinos podcast, and we have a show every Sunday at 6 p.m. and we go live and we talk
Nice.
about politics and guns and news.
And they're so stinking cute while doing it.
Yep. Yep. And you guys have a Twitch channel too.
Yes, and then we play video games, mostly shooters together of some sort, and we are on Twitch, the Locked and Loaded Latinos.
Yeah, you
Come
guys are
follow.
good. Unlike the rest
They
of
are
us.
good. We play Fortnite together sometimes, and I just kind of run around and let you guys handle it.
I love the time that I played with Rolo, Disparu, and I think it was you, Tugs. And
Yeah.
like they're like, we love X-ray girl lobbies because y'all could just kill people so easily. And there's me being like, all right, I'm gonna go throw a goat over this fence. But yeah. Okay.
I
Wow.
think there's a nice balance. I like to play with the wildlife. Now that chickens are back, I like to grab them and fly a little bit.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. You know what? Do you guys play Call of Duty? Do you have Black Ops? Cold War?
We do have some Call of Duty. We've been meaning to get back into it, so
I have Cold War, and I've been meaning to. I want to get back into it. I'm terrible at Warzone, which is ironic because I'm good at
Warzone,
Fortnite,
I'm-
which is basically the same thing.
We're
But
all horrible at
Warzone's so
Warzone.
But team deathmatch all day. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you are really good at deathmatch. Like really good at deathmatch. I don't know how you do it.
So if you guys ever want to play that, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm shooting my shot here. Okay.
So front porch, this is for you. This is going to be where eventually Poor Choices t-shirts will be as well. So
Yeah, we're working on it, guys.
we're working on it. Yeah. But if you want a Go Tit shirt, you can find that there, and it's free shipping in the US.
Yeah, and let us, if you do order one, like honestly, if you do end up ordering one and when you get it, like please give us super honest feedback on the quality, the print, like run it through the washer a couple of times and see if the thing comes off, like all that kind of stuff, because we're, I know
They
that
want
Geeks Gamers
good-
uses like TeePublic and stuff, so we're trying something different. So just let it, if you do order it, let us
Yeah.
know.
And it's
And-
a small business, and I like supporting it. Chrissy Mayer's over there, and I liked it so far. I've washed mine a few times, and so it's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
Yeah.
So Poor Choices merch to come. But yes, Go Tit. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Front
just
porch.
the one. The other one, look, one at a time. All right. Just the one. The one goes, the other stays asleep. It's fine.
Tugs, anything you want to plug?
No. Oh, I think I'm playing Fortnite with you guys tomorrow. On premium,
Oh,
whatever that
premium. Very
is.
nice.
I won't be
premium
there
game.
because I brought my PC, my laptop with me, and I forgot my controller. And
Wow.
No, you know what you should do? You should go to Best Buy, buy one,
buy
and then
one.
return it. Or someplace
Never had
there,
so many
Walmart.
controllers.
Walmart. You can return at Walmart with an open box, I think.
That's a good idea. That is a good idea.
That I've learned that from Ryan Kindle. When he travels, he buys a monitor and returns it.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Thursday. Isn't it Thursdays is Fortnite night, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Today's Wednesday, right? Yes,
Yeah.
tomorrow. Don't look, Cappy. Don't do
It's
that.
either
to
that
me.
or Splatoon.
Don't confuse her.
I think
Yes.
I did ask Rolo, but I think there's gonna be room for me. So I'll since I haven't been on Mario Kart in 84 years.
There's literally 100 slots. So
Oh,
there's
good.
definitely
Yeah,
room for
you can play. I will wear it once I order it. We just made it live, so I tried sample shirts of Chrissy's shirts. So now I'm gonna have to get my own shirts. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, this is the same company Chrissy uses. So if you've ever bought Chrissy Mayer's stuff, it's the same. Ow,
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Mhm.
And tomorrow I'll be doing yoga. I think at 8 a.m. So go to pen that. Oh my god, you press the nip.
Do you remember? You remember those pens that were like the nudies? You would click them, and there would be like a girl in lingerie, and you click it again, and she would be. Where did those even come from? Does anybody else remember that in the 90s? Is it just
No,
no? Never mind.
never used them. The
I don't
only
remember
cool
why I
pens
know
I ever
about
had were
function pen.
what?
I had an erectile dysfunction pen. But it
Maybe.
was
Was it curved? Like it was just
But
floppy?
it was like I forgot if it was like you click it, but it's like this little like penis would come out and be like,
Oh my god,
I think Viagra made him or something. I don't remember.
that
That
is
was
hilarious.
hilarious.
Front porch remembers.
Thank you. I'm like, okay, am I maybe just is it just me? But they were literally like, you would click it and she'd be in like lingerie, and you click it again and she'd be naked. I don't remember who gave them out, but
For the Karens, those are the type of people you want to stay away from, probably. But you can wear it at the Orlando meetup. I would love to see some Go Tit shirts there.
If any Karen says anything, just be like, it's a golf thing.
And so it has girl on it. A girl made this. Bimbo power. All right. Looks like whiskey glasses are winning our poll, by the way. So
yeah, that's what I thought. Put your beer in a whiskey glass. You'll be fine.
it'll be cheaper postage too. But that's for the future. We'll get there eventually. Okay. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for the super chats, donations. Thank you, Joe, for being here. Tugs as well. And I hope you guys have a very good day. And next week, just a regular sip and chill.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.